Alright guys, and welcome to Bearded Badness episode 3, and today I'm going to be diving more into the bearded and bushy I messed that up. That's just so far.
Take two.
5, 4,
You are now listening to
1, 0.
Alright guys, hey, welcome, and this is the third episode of Bearded Badness here today, and today I'm going to be diving more into the bearded business with my friend Kyle Young here today. Mr. Kyle.
What's going on, everyone?
Thank you for coming on the show, my friend, and tell me a little bit more about yourself.
So, I'm a college student, go to work, school, everything like that, so usually pretty tired. That's about it about me.
That's what's up, and I see you repping a little U-Fit, so
yeah.
Hey, shout out. So, alrighty then. So, going into this interview, start off question 1. Tell me a little bit about yourself, like a little bit more.
So, about myself, depends on where we want to start back. We'll go as far back as high school. Pretty much about me, I've always been busy. Grew up, my family has a horse barn, went to high school, pre-med program in high school, worked with fire rescue, worked with the Air Force Auxiliary, and then came off to college to pursue my degree in sport exercise science, and still trying to figure out what I'm doing with it, but we'll see where it takes me. Still want to go back to fire rescue though, so kind of all over the place.
Alright, that's what's up. That's good though. You're actually going out and grinding and doing your thing. Alright, my friend, let's go into the bearded business for today. Okay, so tell me, first question, why did you grow your beard?
Well, I guess the best way to put it is that when I first started growing it was mainly laziness. Like back when I was in high school, as I said, fire rescue and military stuff, always had to be clean shaven. Always. Every day, shave, since I was like 16 years old. So by the time I graduated high school and I got finished up with those programs, I got out and I said, you know what, fuck it, here we go. Not shaving anymore, and next thing I knew, I had a beard.
Yeah, I agree with that, because honestly, like, it's kind of funny how, like, the past 3 people I had on the show today, they always mention laziness. And laziness, honestly, I think that's, like, the number one thing that people don't realize that actually counts into it all, because it's just, like, I was just letting it grow out in time and just, decided, like, to stop shaving it. So it's kind of, like, interesting to hear that from, like, almost every person that I talk to, but, like, intentionally either they mean it or not, but it just happens.
The funny part that I've realized though is, like, it's still a lot of fucking work, like, to put it, like, gently. Like, there's still a lot of shit you gotta do to keep the beard growing, especially if you want it to look nice. But if you really don't care and you just want to grow it out, I mean, that's a beard.
Yeah, most definitely. Honestly, I can't even tell you, like, how much, like, just the time you gotta, like, really put into it. Like, honestly, like, I know, like, in most situations it's not that bad, or depending on how your growth is, or depending on your beard, it's, like, not bad in most cases. But I know, like, if you're trying to get to, like, a certain length or certain texture, it, like, tends to take, like, a lot, especially if you're trying to shape it up and stuff like that. So
all the fucking products you gotta put in, everything
I
like that.
know, yeah, there's, like, so many, and it's, like, I just learned that, like, not even the hair products you use for your hair doesn't also, like, go on your beard as well, because those are, like, 2 different kind of, like, motions going on, I should say. So, I mean, maybe some of it may work, like the coconut oil, and maybe some, like, your basic stuff, but not, like, with the moisturizer, like, like with motions I would use for my hair and stuff like that, or Sport and Wave. And
I mean, there's 2 different styles of hair, I think. Never got too much into the science of things, but I mean, your beard oil is mostly, like, skin stuff as well as that, so you just gotta keep it nice and, like, I guess moisturize is the word to use, stuff like that. They also do use, like, tea tree oil, stuff like that to kind of help growth, but for the most part, I mean, in my opinion, hair is hair.
That is true. Like, honestly, a quick little side question. Out of all the stuff you mentioned, with your products, like, what would you say has been the most beneficial to you thus far?
Probably beard oil, because it smells really damn good. But
which beard oil?
Trying to think of the name of it. I think it was actually Bearded Bastard. Believe it or not, like, kind of similar to the show. I know they sold it over at Floyd's Barbershop. That shit is expensive, but you can find it online for like $10 maybe-ish. But, like, the vanilla is, like, on point with smell. Never got a complaint.
Ooh, vanilla. I know you also told me about sandalwood. Sandalwood smells really good too.
I have that one. It's just not my biggest, like, literally every time I wear it, I'm like, dude, I'm working at the horse barn again. I'm like, damn. Like, that's how I smell. I'm like, it is what it is, but it's like, you, like, smell it and then you kind of, like, taste the wood and it's like, it's weird.
I feel you on that. So leading into my second question a little bit, like, how do you feel about your beard now, like, currently?
I mean, it's, like, kind of like an extension of who I am. Everyone knows me for the beard. Like, most people, like, one of the members today at the gym, like, was like, yeah, talk to the short bearded dude. Like, it's become how, like, people recognize me. and I don't know, it's like become who I am. But you know, when I get into like the medical stuff, I can't have it, so it's gonna suck. But I mean, I might as well grown it out while I could.
Oh yeah, most definitely take up the opportunity while you can, because I had to jump on that bandwagon. Like, oh, like since I'm in college, I don't have to really worry about work. Let me jump on that bandwagon right now. And it just became a thing. It wasn't like really like, oh, like I'm gonna actually try hard and like actually grow a beard. It's just like, no, just grow a beard, you know.
And that's how like it all starts, and then you start like doing that, and you're like, all right, how come mine doesn't look as good as his, and like,
right?
You sit there, you're like, what the fuck am I doing wrong?
Exactly, because I know like low-key, like mine like is like riddled, or used to be riddled with a lot of patches. So like I would like, it's not as bad as how it used to be, like, but then like right here it would just be like very patchy and stuff like that. So like trying to get that like, you know, like filled and stuff like that was always a hassle. Like 2 of the beard oils I actually used was Gentleman's beard oil and also Beard Czar, which is the 2 bottles actually I have right here. But these bottles, honestly, like they smell really good. Or Clubman. Yeah, Clubman beard oil and Beard Czar. But these are like the 2 I would say like are really, really good. But I mean, like as far as with oils, like I'm very experimental with it. But as long as it has like, you know, like your good nutrients like tea tree and like you know, coconut, or just like something like really organically healthy for your hair, like argan oil, universal, like as long as it has like stuff like that, you know. But I know like some of them, they have like supplements where you can take like biotin, you know, stuff like that. So either FDA approved or not, it all really depends. But I personally like the beard oil than I do with the actual pill. But I don't know how you feel about that.
I've never used it. For me, beard oil is just something I kind of like just rubbed into my beard. I was never like kind of consistent with that. The more than what I did is like, you know, if you get a conditioner, like you can get a decent hair conditioner will do a trick for your beard. Just to keep it like nice and moisturized, so that way it's not like prickly. I've never had any issue growing a beard, so that patchy stuff, I think right now I was shaving consistently for like 3 years, so I mean that could have had an effect on it. Some people say that, but for the most part, like my beard has always grown in full, so I've never had any issue with that.
Right. I feel you. Yeah, like honestly, I never really had an issue with it either, but I guess like I don't know, I noticed like patches from time to time, it will just like appear and reappear, and it's not as bad as it used to be, but that's probably with me being on the biotin and maybe a few other stuff. But how long have you had your beard like this go around?
Since 2014. So this go around, probably about a month and a half.
Well, in general, like what would have been like 2014?
Yeah, I started growing it back in like 2014, and then like I was always on and off, shaving it, growing it, trimming it, whatever it is, you know, growing it out. I think like the longest I had it was like 6 or 7 inches long.
That's how mine is like right now. I think it is. That's crazy. So you mentioned you had like so many beard styles. Like how many like beard styles do you think you had, or you can name off the top of your head?
I don't know the names of them. I just know that I kind of like mess around with it because I have like my own trimmer at home. Kind of probably one of the best investments is getting just like a good hair trimmer, and like keeping it lubed up and like trimming it up the sides and stuff, like keep it like well kept. But like normally I would just like mess around with my beard. Like there were times where, you know, I just got bored and I was like right before class and I'd be like, you know, let's change up my style today. You know, I shaved off the sides. I like kept like a goatee kind of look. You know, I just kind of messed around with it depending on how I felt. You know, if I wanted to. I think for a while I joked around with my friends. I did the pedophile mustache. Just stupid stuff like that. You know, just kind of like, you know, changes up. Because for me, like I get bored easily. So if I can change up something about me, why not?
Right, and there's nothing wrong with change. Like I used to rock like goatees, used to rock like try to do like the Fu Manchu kind of thing. The handlebar mustache where I twisted it and stuff like that. So I had like a few variations of like the same thing. But like I think right now I'm just trying to go Rick Ross, just trying to grow this shit out and just have it there so that way it's something to work with. If not, like you got like a whole plethora full. So
I mean, there's probably went through like 15 or 20 styles easily.
Yeah, there's like 15, 20. Like honestly, like even if you just like grow it out to a certain length, you can just even create and just make so many styles just from there. It's like you don't necessarily have to even go off like the styles that like has been done throughout history. You know, you can just like easily just make it your own. So that's the beauty about like beards, is that like you guys can like actually like be able to craft it however you want it, you know, drive it however you want to drive it. So it's like it's kind of cool like having that. So I don't know, like That's very interesting. I kind of like realized just now that I actually didn't like realize this before. Like you can create beard styles, not necessarily replicate them all the time.
You know, make it your own. I've seen people dye them. I still think that's kind of weird, but
yeah, like I'm not really into dyeing beards, but I mean, like power to people who do. You know, I just couldn't be the person to do it. You know, I had glitter in my beard one time, and that stuff was like a mess. Just trying to get it out for a photo shoot, but like I mean, mad props to people who dye their beards. You know, I just don't think I would be able to do that or look good with it, but it looks pretty cool on some people. Like I've seen like the merman kind of thing going where they have like the blue hair and then the blue beard, and it's really cool. It's
one of those things that's like teach their own. Like, you know, if they can pull it off and it looks good, or even if it looks bad, screw it. It's what they want to do, right?
Exactly. It's all them. It's all them. It's all you. That's the most important. So, going into my next question, like, at this point, you mentioned you did have, like, a lot of beard styles throughout the past. So, would you consider yourself more of, like, a dedicated beard grower, occasional, seasonal, long time, or experimental?
That one's a tough one, because I've never gone, like, a period without a beard. Like, if I shaved, like, I would shave, like, once, and then I would grow right back onto beard or something like that. So, like, I've had a beard consistently for 3-4 years now.
Right.
And it's at the point where it's like I don't go without a beard, so I guess you can say like occasional, but there's always something there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah, that's like the same thing with me. It's like I never really had the beard like this long in my life, but like I always had like some form of a beard, like some form of facial hair, whether it was cut really short, just a goatee, or just like really, really shaven close, like just like the stubble on the chin. Like always had some kind of a beard like lined up, you know. And originally I thought I could never grow a beard fully, you know, like I guess it's just really like I just never really spent time actually just letting it grow out, really. Yeah. And I was always told that, you know, like, oh, the more you shave it, you know, like the more it'll grow better, but you know, honestly that's not really the case. I mean, it does grow back thicker and fuller to an extent, but I mean, like, I was thinking at the time, like, oh, if you kept shaving it off, it would grow back like this full, like really quickly. And I guess it's true, but I don't know.
I mean, the general thing with like beards is that they go through awkward phases. Like straight up, like you'll go through like it looks great one day, the next day, like, you know, what the hell happened? Like they go through a lot of awkward phases, especially during like the beginner growing processes. Like you'll go through times where it looks amazing, times when it looks good, times where it looks bad. Like when I first started growing mine, my beard was straight red. Like I hated it. Now it's like kind of like darker brown, blacker color, but you'll still see it like every now and then. You'll see the red come out, and people will be like, what the hell?
Your beard's red?
I asked somebody asked me if I dyed it, and I was like, do I look like the person that would dye my beard, dude?
It's funny, because, like, yeah, like, honestly, like, it's kind of crazy, like, how facial hair, like, it can grow, like, a different color. Because I've noticed that with people, like, you know, like, some people have, like, really blonde hair, and it grows, like, really brown. And then, like, if their hair is, like, really brown, it'll go, like, really, like, reddish, you know? So, like, that's different. So it's like really interesting like how that happens.
I mean, I was born with red hair, so I guess that's like kind of the inherent thing. It's kind of like that reminder to say, hey, you have no soul. So, you know, it's kind of
damn, he actually went there today.
It's kind of one of those things that's just like a constant reminder, like, hey, you were fucked up as a kid, you were an ugly kid. Let's go.
Wow. He brought out the red hair shit.
And
wow.
If you can't make fun of yourself, you can't make fun of other people. So
that is true. You know, that is very true. You gotta be practical on yourself sometimes. You know, it breaks the ice. So, okay, cool. So, from the looks of it, you say more of, like, an experimental beard grower for the most part. So, like, going into, like, the final few questions, do you have, like, any, like, grooming tips that you kind of follow? Like, any, like, funny bearded stories you also want to lead into that?
So, a lot of people, like, go above and beyond with their beard. I mean, the more products, probably the better it's going to look. But for, per se, me... You know, I've done like beard oils, beard butters before. I've done beard wax, just kind of like keep it groomed up if I want to look fancy. But for the most part, I just stay consistent with beard oil. You know, make sure that when you're in the shower, you got to wash it. You got to put some conditioner or shampoo. You know, anything to clean out the hair and everything like that. Mainly, but like beard oil is like the one thing that I stay consistent with because it just A, it makes your beard smell nice. B, it makes it softer. C, it grows in patches. Like if you have patches, it can help fix that. So I mean, there's a lot of benefits to it. But beard oil is like the number one thing. Now, if you are gonna get a beard and you do kind of need products, beard oil should be the one that you should invest in. But the funny thing that I've learned with beard oil is that it's highly flammable. Same with your beard hair. So there have been a few times where I've lit my beard on fire, or the mustache portion of it, and it catches you off guard. It's kind of funny. And there was one good time that I had to shave off my beard because I burnt off like Granted, I was high as shit, to be
Oh,
honest.
wow. It always happens from there.
Yeah. It was probably not my best moment, and just completely burnt off like a complete patch. I was like, damn. All right, gotta shave that.
Dang, how much of the patch was it? Like,
Probably around like 2 or 3 inches, like off my chin, like.
oh no.
And I walked into work the next day, and everyone was like, "Oh, why do you shave your beard?" And I was like, reasons."
Dang, like it was noticeable to a point where it's like, either you walked in with this singed off, it's gonna look off, or it's either you shave it off and it's gonna look like, oh, you shaved off your beard. So either way, it was like picking the lesser one. But man, that sucks. Like, I remember I almost lit my beard on fire, just like one time. One fun.
I mean, like literally, like also, like, hey, it happens, man. Like it's an experience. It's fun. You know, the best thing about the beard is that it, like, resembles not giving a fuck. I should say. Like, a lot of people just don't care. Like, they grow the beard, you become that like calmer person. Like 90% of the guys I've seen with beards are easiest to get along with people. They're usually the more calmer people. They're usually the people that, for the most part, like, they look kind of scary, and you kind of be like, all right, and then you actually get to talk to them. They're usually like some of the most level-headed people, down to earth. So I mean, it's kind of like that whole crew. Like, when you see someone with a beard, you can kind of like recognize it, stuff like that. But everyone has their own one.
That's what's up. That's good. Yeah, that's really good. And honestly, my final thoughts leading into that is like, yeah, like with a beard, like going back to it, it's not like really a set rule book. It's not really a set like kind of guidelines. Like, you know, we can follow and replicate styles, but not necessarily it's like you have to like go about like that particular style. Like, you can like just make it your own, just kind of pimp it your own and kind of make it like you, and that's the uniqueness about it. But like that's why I guess like with me, like, I don't know, like I guess like my beard is kind of like my baby, so it's just like, it's kind of like that little notion there. It's just like, oh shit, just gotta carefree like that. And I know some people name their beard, and some people like have like a little stigma with it. I know it sounds crazy, but hey, you know, like whatever works, you know, like a beard.
Hey, so I'm
My
Kyle.
beard's my
This is
baby.
Fred. This is my beard.
My name is Fred.
Like, I don't know why the name of the beard is kind of on the strange one, but I guess people do what they do.
I mean, hey, it works. So, okay, any final thoughts into like this? Any final thoughts? Any last comments you want to make into BeardedBadness for this episode?
I mean, if you're gonna grow a beard, just do it. That's just as simple as it is. Just stop shaving and grow it. You know, if you want to grow it out however you'd like. Biggest recommendation I can give is if you keep the sides trimmed in, for the most part, they'll look nicer. So even when you're at like the barber, you know, something like that, just get the sides pulled in, you know, kind of angle it down would probably be the best. I mean, that's usually like the one thing that makes your beard look good. But when it's like poofed out on the sides and like everything kind of gets a little wild, it gets a little messy, and that's like the one thing that I try and avoid. That, and you keep the mustache trimmed up.
Yeah, mine right now is just getting really tangled, like badly tangled, so it's just like,
Brush it out immediately.
have to pick it out and everything. Alright, cool, my friend. Well, I guess that kind of wraps up all my questions. And like I said, guys, like, there you have it. So, this is BeardedBadness episode 3 with my friend Kyle Young here today. And today we dive down into some bearded business. And this episode is brought to you by, I don't know what it'll be brought to you by today. Let's just say Coffee, Cane, and Clutch right now.
Yeah. I mean, we're
Coffee,
both
cane.
up hella early.
Yeah, let's just say Coffee, Cane, and Clutch right now. And I haven't even went to class yet.
Sponsored to caffeine.
Sponsored by caffeine. There you go. This episode is sponsored to you by caffeine. Caffeine goes around and makes the world go around. Makes us all go crazy. Alright, guys. Until next time, BeardedBadness episode 3. Until then, we'll get more into some bearded business. Like I said, my name is Garrett Clark, and I'm your host, and we'll be getting more into it next week. Stay tuned, you guys. Thank you, and thank you for listening.
Deuces.
Deuces.
BeardedBadness.